Hello everyone, I'm Rafael Alvarez and this is Alvarez Metalworks. So today what we're going to be talking about is a product called the Dust Deputy. It is made out here in central New York by a company called Oneida Systems. I'm not sponsored by them, but I do use their products all the time, or the Dust Deputy product, or some larger scale versions of it. I work at a marina as for my day job, as many of you already know. Sanding on fiberglass, gel coat, paint, doing whatever, woodworking. We use these things because they eliminate the overhead cost and time spent changing out filters and bags in the shop vacs that we use for our dust collecting. When we first got them, we were using it on a project where we took a 65-foot yacht and removed all of the gel coat off of the fiberglass hull as well as the upper section of the boat as well. And we're talking about, how many stories? 3-story boat? Yeah. So it was a significant amount of dust and debris that was removed from that boat, and we used those dust deputies to help collect it in a way that was much more efficient than it would be just using a shop vac. What a dust deputy is it's a cyclone separator. Okay, you guys have all probably seen those old school commercials where they're talking about, oh, you don't need any bags in your vacuum cleaner because it's a cyclone system, yada 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 yada. This is what that is, except for it's not in the vacuum. It's a separate system set up between the vacuum and what it is that you're vacuuming up. Okay, so I will be showing you guys that in a quick second. But I want to talk about why we're using it on the blast cabinet. Again, it's to avoid changing filters, changing bags in the shop vac. And the Dust Deputy in itself is very expensive. Okay, it is very expensive for what it is that you get. It looks like something that you're just like, holy crap, that's just plastic. Why are they charging that much for it? When are the Chinese going to come out with something like that? Let's be honest here. That's what a lot of people are going to say. The system that I got cost about $100, give or take. I'll put the link down in the description on where you can find that. Comes with 2 5-gallon buckets, a lid, the actual Dust Deputy system, some caster wheels that I'm probably not going to use, and some other stuff I'm going to show you. That's a lot of money for what you're getting. Oh, it comes with a hose as well. But regardless, it's worth it. It pays for itself fast. Okay, so first things first, here's the hose that you're going to need. You don't need 8 feet of it. If you could find it online for cheaper, get it. But what you need is the 2.5-inch opening. This is upside down, but you need the 2.5-inch opening. Now, the shop vac that I have is this one here. You guys have all seen this at Lowe's. It's the shop vac brand. It has a smaller hose. It has the orifice there for the 2.5-inch opening, but it comes with a smaller hose. The vacuum on that works just fine. However, this hose does not. Okay, it will work. I've been using it like this. It does work. But it doesn't work to its optimum performance. You need the 2.5-inch to get this thing to work correctly. If you have an air system that allows you to run a larger nozzle on your blast cabinet, you need a vacuum system that's going to compensate for that added extra air that is going into the blast cabinet. This vacuum will do it. We have an extremely large air compressor at my work, and I'm using a number 5 nozzle in the gun, and the vacuum system keeps up with it, no problem. I may actually, in fact, ask them for a number 7 nozzle, just to step up to see, if it'll be able to handle it or not. But we'll see. Okay, everyone, so here it is. Let's get this thing open. First thing you're going to notice is the lid. The lid has the hole, and it has mounting holes already pre-drilled into it. You open this up, the next thing you're going to find is is the actual dust deputy. Okay, there's some things inside of it we'll have to remove. You got this chrome metallic foil strip and the gasket. Right here, and nothing else. What else you have in here is some 2.5-inch hose with two 90-degree elbows. And a stop and read first, owner's manual, $5-gallon bucket, another 5-gallon bucket, a piece of foam that keeps you from crushing the other things that are inside this bucket, hardware, 3 casters, 2 O-rings, a small wrench, and a hose clamp. Okay? So, with that being said, your gasket obviously goes here. It's not rocket science here. Okay? Then this is bolted to the lid, like so. You can... Okay, we got this all put together. Couple things. This chrome tape is a foil. It's a foil tape. It's meant for static electricity ground. In the instructions, they say to run this up this fitting, run it down to one of the bolts, tee it off across here to this fitting, and then if you want, wrap a piece of wire underneath that bolt before you bolt it together long enough to reach to the ground. The other end of the wire will be wrapped around a washer so that it just rests on the ground. What that does is supposedly get rid of the static charge that develops from air and particulates swirling around inside a plastic. Anytime you have that happening inside a plastic, it creates static electricity. This is why we do not use the plexiglass that came with our blast cabinet. That is why we use real glass, because it creates static electricity and all the dust is going to go whoop, and stick to the glass, and then you're going to be screwed. You're not going to be able to see. You're going to be wiping it off and it's just going to move around. So, with that being said, if you choose to have that ground on there, you can. I work with these things all the time. We don't have that ground set up. I put the tape on here just because I had it. I will tell you that there is just enough tape to go from the top of this down to this bolt and over. Okay? Just barely enough tape. So keep that in mind when you decide to put this. If you decide to put this tape over here, it's not going to reach to here. It needs to be in relation to that here or to this bolt. Okay? Anyway, this is the hose that came with the dust deputy. It's short, it's going straight to the vacuum. I took one of the 90-degree elbows off and I put it on this hose. Okay? The other end, they gave me a hose clamp. I'm going to use it at the top here. Okay? It fits nice and tight. I don't need the hose clamp, but I'm going to put it there anyways. The reason why I'm using this other elbow on this hose that I purchased, the shop vac hose, is because when you buy the shop vac hose, it comes like so. You have this connection on here, and you have this connection, which is no connection. There's no end on it, which is fine. They give you a bag full, they give you a bag of parts, and one of them is another one of these, and another one is one that's similar to this. But neither one of those other fittings really fits snugly onto this right here. Now, Oneida Air Systems provides you with some O-rings that I showed you earlier. What those O-rings is kind of like a filler or a gasket type thing. You put them on, you slide the hose over, it helps to create a better seal for those fittings that don't quite fit over the top of this. And I'll tell you, I was really reluctant to buy anything hose-wise until I bought this, because I know from being at work and working with different hoses and vacuum systems that not all of those fittings fit quite as good as the next. So that is why I'm using this, because this fits really well into the hose and fits really well onto the dust deputy. Nice and tight, friction fit, works awesome. The length of the hose is ridiculously long. 8 feet is really too long. I'm not going to cut it down because I'm not going to be in my shop forever. I'm hopefully going to be moving into a new shop at some point this year. I don't want to make anything permanent until I move into a new shop, so that this way I'm building things for my new shop. I'm setting things up for my new shop. I'm not using the casters as a result. And one other thing, this foam block that I showed you guys earlier that I said was to keep one bucket from smashing the parts on the other, what it really is for is to mount on the side of your cab or side of your bucket like so. And it's a spacer so that if you choose to want to mount the dust deputy in the bucket to your shop vac, you can do that. This is kind of preference. I don't really like that idea for a couple of reasons. Number one, you need to be able to dump this bucket pretty easy. And if it's bolted to your vacuum, then that means you're kind of taking your vacuum and everything and trying to dump it. But that's an option. There's 2 long bolts that come with this, washers and everything. If you choose to do that, you can. I'm going to save the parts. I'm not sold on that idea just yet. The reason why they offer it is because you got a vacuum, you got a hose, you got the dust deputy, the bucket, and you got another hose, and it's very clumsy. Dumping this over is very easy to do. Some people throw bricks inside of the buckets to help weigh this down so it doesn't flop over so easy. For me, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. At work, we have the glass cabinet mounted on a pallet, which raises the cabinet up, makes it a little bit better for people tall like myself. But it also provides us a shelf behind the glass cabinet where we can sit the bucket without the casters and sit the vacuum without the casters behind it. And if we ever want to move the whole system, we come underneath with the pallet jack, move it around. All we have to do is unplug the electric cord and unplug the air hose, and we can move it very easy. So with that being said, the other side of this hose fits very, very well into this elbow. This elbow we'll talk about when we get to the cabinet, because there's a few different options you can do as far as getting your air hose connection on the cabinet, and this is one of them. That being said, let's get our butts over there and make it happen. Okay, so we're at the back of the glass cabinet. I have everything all set up, but I want to show you guys some stuff here. When you first buy your glass cabinet from Harbor Freight, this port on the back of the cabinet is actually, according to the Harbor Freight instructions, designed to be the intake port, and your vacuum is supposed to be over there on that side. However, if you follow my video series about the Tacoma Company upgrade kit and the proper assembly of this cabinet, I'll put a link down in the description where you can find that. I talk about changing that. The reason being is that port over there is smaller, this one is larger. You want your vacuum side to be on the larger port. Now, with that being said, when you purchase this cabinet, it comes with a plug that goes into this hole. Why they give you that, I'm not entirely sure, but the plug is there. What I did was I purchased this elbow from the Tacoma Company, and this elbow fits the vacuum hose because it's got this little grommet thing inside of here, and this elbow allowed me to drill the plug. This black ring is the plug. I drilled this out with a hole saw. And if you look inside of here, you see that ledge right there? What that is a separate piece. This white ring around here actually slides into the elbow, and it's designed to be glued into place. So I drilled the hole in the black plastic plug, took the two pieces, the elbow and the other white piece, and plugged them together with the ring between it, and glued it in place. I can't take it apart, it's glued in place. So, took that, plugged in my hose, and then I could just plug it in. Now this is movable, it's not a super good connection. If you wanted to, you could permanently attach that with some silicone or something like that. It's up to you. I'm not going to do anything permanent on here as of right now, because of the reason I stated above about moving my shop. But what I wanted to talk to you guys and show you is this. You see that white powder over here? What that is blast media, broke down blast media, as well as the broke down paint, whatever it is that I'm blasting in the cabinet. You should never see that. If you see that, you don't have a good vacuum set up in your cabinet. Okay? The reason why I see it on mine is because I was running this thing for a very long period of time with my vacuum plugged up. That is the reason why I bought the dust deputy. I knew that was going to be an issue. It was an issue. Issues resolved. Now, I can't show you how bad the air filter is in the vacuum because I've already cleaned it. I cleaned it before I did this video because I used this cabinet the other day. I never wiped down the cabinet. I will clean it all up now that I got the dust deputy in. I'm actually going to take that filter though and blow it out really good because it does have some particles in it as of right now. It's just not nearly as bad as it was, and you guys would have been like, holy crap, that plugged up like that? Yes, it does. This dust is super, super fine. If you wet it, it clumps up like clay or plaster, and it collects in the vacuum system in the same manner as well. It's really disgusting. So anyway, let me show you guys. You know, we got the hose coming down here. It's going into the dust deputy. Dust deputy's just sitting on the floor. That hose going into the vacuum system. Nothing fancy. It's real basic. You know, the system doesn't get any simpler than that. Now you guys can see my stupid face. But it's just something that you guys needed to know as far as that's concerned. With that being said, I'm going to put a link down in the description on where you guys can find the build video for how to properly assemble your cabinet. I'm going to put a link down in the description on where you can get the complete dust deputy kit that I have, as well as just the actual dust deputy from Amazon, as well as the shop vac from Amazon. You guys can buy all those things from other outlets. You can go to Oneida Air Systems and buy the dust deputy directly from them. If you guys choose to purchase it through Amazon, it does help me. I'm an Amazon affiliate. I do get a little bit of a commission from some sales when you guys click on those links. So if you want to help me out, that'll help me out. If not, that's fine. You're probably going to still pay the same price. If you can get a better deal, let me know where you got it. So, the elbow and stuff that I talked about, I'll have the information down there so you can get a hold of the Tacoma company. That'll also be the people that you get in touch with. His name is Mike. When it comes to buying the upgrade kit, again, the dust deputy is not part of their upgrade kit, but that elbow is. One other thing that you can do on that vacuum system is they sell large adapters that go from the 2.5-inch hose into, I don't know, maybe 5-inch round adapter. You could take one of those, because that's what I did at work. Cut a bigger hole in the back panel of the blast cabinet, shave off the material on the 5-inch side of that adapter so that you only have like maybe, 1/4 inch sticking through, and then glue it in place with, I use Sikaflex at work. You could use whatever you want really, as long as it works. The only issue with that is that you have to wait usually 24 hours for that kind of adhesive to settle up, and especially because it's in a very, very dusty environment, you'll want to wait until the glue is properly set up. The way I did it, I can use it instantly. So the glue that I used to attach the elbow to that plug that I drilled the hole in dries immediately. So I could use this right now. I'm not going to show you guys a demonstration just because I'm not going to. I don't have enough time to sit here and blast a bunch of stuff and create a bunch of dust so that you can see its performance. You're going to just have to take my word for it. If you follow me on my Facebook channel, I will be sure, 100% sure, to take some still photos of the dust deputy system at work that we've been using for weeks now and show you what the vacuum's accumulated into it and show you what the dust deputy has trapped. I can't do that as of right now. I'm not at work. It is what it is. Forgive me. But that's the system. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for the support. I will talk to you guys later.